wait for the day when we can actually meet like any other earlier occasion at fairs, education fairs, interactions in schools, and just maybe a one-on-one. So I take this opportunity to welcome colleagues from different parts of the world. I work very closely with Amarjeet at the University of Warwick. And welcome to Amarjeet. Veer is a student from many years ago at the Sriram School. So welcome, Veer. I also would like to take this opportunity to welcome Anjali. And I don't know whether the delegate from Loughborough is here or from Flame. And if you are, if you could just say hello. And
hi, I'm pretty much there.
Okay. I've messaged Rob. He said that it's Swapnil from University of Loughborough present in the room.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, I'm pretty much there. Yeah.
Okay, lovely. We're going to start off on the session by kind of highlighting the three very important parts of an application for a student. I don't know whether this is the right group of universities we are talking about regarding scholarships, but I'm going to give the universities an opportunity to be able to think through, are they offering any undergraduate scholarships? Is there the possibility of us initiating a Delhi-specific scholarship? I know that in the years gone by, we have done scholarships for IB students. We've done scholarships for specific schools in different parts of India. So I do hope that universities are looking at funding opportunities for our very competitive and a wonderful pool of students from India. So I'd open this discussion by asking, and I can see Amarjeet on my screen, so maybe Amarjeet could be the first one to take a lead on it.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Very delighted to be here. Welcome, everyone. I'm from University of Warwick. Scholarships, a very hot topic, as Kanika mentioned. Rightly so. I was a student myself from Bombay 10 years ago. At University of Warwick, there is a scholarship called Al-Bukhari Scholarship. And Kanika, that scholarship covers £20,000 over the course of 3 years. And the scholarship is based on excellence. As a result of that, a lot of Indian students benefit from that because a lot of excellent students from India apply for that scholarship. And I'll be very happy to answer connecting questions from you, Kanika.
That's indeed very exciting to know that there are undergraduate scholarships which are opening up in UK universities. Typically, UK has been always a part of the world which says that funding is more available at the postgraduate. And I know of so many scholarships at the postgraduate, but great to hear. And maybe, Amarjeet, if you could find the link and post it on the chat, students would be able to access it. That would be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Over to the representative from, and let's give an Indian university a chance. So over to Flame. Can you come in and maybe talk about the kind of funding Flame would give to a deserving student?
And I have been associated with Flame University for almost 10 years now. And yes, Flame is very generous in offering scholarship placements and internships to students who are studying on campus. It's a UGC recognized university, and we have several scholarships like a merit-based scholarship, a need-based scholarship, also special scholarships for students who are doing well in sports or extracurricular activities. And we have a college board scholarship also, wherein a student getting a SAT score of 1300 and above also is given a scholarship.
Thank you so much for that. That's very exciting to hear. Can you just share with us what is your annual fee like? I know a lot of students are interested to know as to what is the kind of range of the annual fee.
Yeah, so the annual fee is 8,10,000 rupees per annum, and that includes your stay, your food, which includes 4 meals on the campus, and your tuition costs.
Okay, lovely. Okay, thank you so much for that. And now over to Veer. Veer, as you all know, represents the University of St. Andrews, and St. Andrews is based in Scotland, and most of its courses, in fact, practically all of them, are four-year programs. So maybe Veer could give us some idea as to whether they have any funding opportunities, as they attract a lot of American students to their campus.
Yeah, I think it's very similar to what Amarjeet said. We have scholarships ranging from, an accommodation award, which might be £2,000 per year, going up to a fully funded £25,000 scholarship, which is a merit-based scholarship for international students. And in between, there's a wide range. So, so I think this general perception of the UK not having scholarships is slightly incorrect. But I think at the same time, important to understand there's a difference in what a scholarship might mean to a US university compared to that of a university in the UK. So we see a lot of Indian students getting scholarships as well. Especially this year, we had a bunch, but that's the wide range. So so that's what students can hope for. We've got both merit-based and need-based scholarships as well. So students can take a look at that. Just if I've got just a second more, just to say, I think important from our perspective, for people to know, we don't automatically consider people for scholarships. So students must apply, and then they need to put in a separate application. I guess it comes with the competitive nature of the application, but that's just something that people should be aware, that there's a separate application for scholarships, which might mean writing an additional essay and so on. So I'll stop there. I think I've said my bit, but hopefully that answers your question.
Thank you very much, Veer. Yes, indeed it does. And it's good to know. And for students and parents, please take a note that in case you want to apply to a scholarship at St. Andrews, you will need an extra application, as well as maybe possibly an essay. So that's something you really need to start looking into. Don't assume that you will automatically be considered. Now, moving from the UK, and we'll come back to Swapnil at Loughborough, but moving from the UK to Canada, we have at Huron at Western available here with us. And if the delegate would just tell us as to the funding opportunities available at Ontario, at the University of Western.
Yes, thank you, Kanika. My name is Anjali. I'm from Huron at Western University. Just a background, Huron at Western is the founding institution of Western University. So students who study in our campus are Western University students. We offer two different kinds of scholarships. One is given automatically based on the predicted scores of students, so they don't have to put in a separate application. The scholarship ranges from $1,000 to about $15,000 per year, and it's renewable for years. So they get a total value of about 60,000 Canadian dollars. This scholarship, like I mentioned, there is no separate application needed for it. And this is given out on the basis of not just their academic, but students who feel that they got less because their academic score was not high enough can also submit their co-curricular. But a total of co-curricular and the academic profile, the total value would never go above 15,000 Canadian dollars. Our named scholarship is the International Presidential Scholarship that is valued at 100,000 Canadian dollars given over 4 years. So $25,000 given every year. This is given out to students who are high academic achievers as well as have a very distinguished co-curricular profile. We do require 2 letters of recommendation for that, and of course 2 essays, that the questions for which we change every year, which is given out to students to complete. So that the International Presidential Scholarship does require a separate application. And what I will do is I will share the link in the chat box so that students can access for more information. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anjali. That was really wonderful. And we loved meeting the dog as well.
He's been pretty active this whole evening. I think he wanted to say it at every session. So.
I think that's the exciting part of being online, that you get to meet other members of the family as well.
Correct.
So coming back to the UK again, and if we have Swapnil over here from Loughborough, And maybe Swapnil could tell us, and I know I'd like to tell students about the kind of sport management courses that Loughborough offers. It's very well known in that area. And I don't know whether we have Swapnil here.
Yes, Kanika.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So as Kanika rightly introduced, Loughborough is very well known for sports, but just to give you an idea about the kind of programs that we offer. So other than law and medicine, we have pretty much, everything to offer. So in terms of scholarships at undergrad level, we offer merit-based scholarships, which is about 25% of the tuition fee in the first year. Going forward, for some subject areas, we have academic excellence scholarship, which is available. But for most of the department, it is precisely, for the very first year of the course. So it is automatically assessed while you submit an application through UCAS. So you do not need to apply separately for the same. And once you get your conditional offer letter, if you're eligible for scholarship, you get a conditional scholarship letter at that point of time itself. So yeah, I will just paste the link for the international scholarships in the chat box. So the students and parents who are interested to know more about it would be easily able to refer to the same. Over to you, Kanika. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's really nice that we'll be able to kind of complete the loop by getting all these links from the chat box, and all of you can just, keep accessing it. So now for the next part of this, and we know that one of the most important experiences that a student can have is to actually do an internship during the course of their academic career, which is during the course of the 3 or 4 year program that they're doing. And I know that UK universities, as well as universities in Canada, greatly support the kind of internship programs that students could undertake. And I am going to open the forum to whoever kind of raises their hand and says they would like to talk about these opportunities. Do you do a career fair, an internship fair? Do you have internship opportunities on campus? Are they, career societies? What exactly do students get benefit of when they are looking at the possibility of working on campus? So anybody who would like to raise their hand and talk about that?
Yes, I just raised my hand from Flame University. Yes, so internship is a very integral part of our curriculum. That's a part of our 3-year program, in which summer internship has to be done for 2 months in the summers. All right. So students can take up an internship with a company of their choice, in which industry they are planning to pursue their career. So if a student wants to major in advertising, can take up an internship in an advertising agency. Similarly, a student who is doing a major in finance can work under one chartered accountant. And similarly, if a student is majoring in computer sciences, can work with an IT firm. So this internship will happen in the summer break, which will last for about 2 months to give them an experience of the corporate world.
So just to clear that this is an every year annual feature, or is it one particular year during the course of their undergraduate degree?
Yes. So in between the 3-year program, we offer this internship in the summer break, followed by a formal placement at the end of the year. Program.
Okay, fine.
So our specialized career service cell, which is completely dedicated to helping students to do internships and formal placements.
Okay, fine. So I think somebody else would like to talk about internship opportunities. Yes. Yeah, Swapnil, go ahead.
So at Loughborough, we have an internship, opportunity with all our undergraduate programs. So for business courses, it's compulsory. So the duration of the program, gets to a 4-year degree. For all engineering degrees, for all social science, humanities programs, it is an optional, thing. But most of our international students opt for the placement year, which usually happens in year 3. So let's say if in case a student wants to opt for a placement year, so they study in year 1, 2, third year, they do their placement, which is supported by the university, and it's a paid placement year. And then fourth year, they come back to the university and finish their studies.
Thank you very much, Swapnil. That's lovely. I don't know whether you got interrupted because of the network, but thanks so much for that. Any other inputs on this in terms of internships? I see that Veer is putting up his hand. So Veer, please go ahead. Yeah, sorry. I don't know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Okay, great. No, I was just saying I'm talking here as an undergrad who spent 4 years in St. Andrews, and so talking from personal experience here, I think important to understand that internships and work experience happens in different ways. So, for example, we have a career center that organizes fairs that 300 of the top companies will come to St. Andrews, talk to students. A lot of times it might be our own students coming back and talking to us now in these positions. But equally, we have societies that are sponsored by some of these companies, and they recruit that way. We don't actually do a internship year, so our courses are all 4 academic years. But yet we find that students actually, close to 70% graduate with internship experience. So that happens in the winter or the summer, or the spring break in your first year. So I think a lot of the UK universities, I think I can talk for Warwick and Loughborough here, that we have good career centers that will help students. But at the same time, students must explore different options and different ways to actually find these resources. And it might be outside the career center, it might be with societies, it might be attending career fairs in other cities that you might want to go to. So I think there's a variety of ways to get around that, but at St. Andrews, definitely we have a great career center that will allow for companies to come in and talk to students and do CV building workshops and things like that. So so that's just more personal perspective than otherwise.
Thank you so much, Veer. And Amarjeet, I think you want to add in on what type of services do the Careers Advisory at Warwick offer?
I think I would like to just echo what my lovely colleague Veer has just highlighted about the independence and flexibility of learning something. So we don't want to just compartmentalize internship as in, okay, this is what you need to do, but just to give you a list of opportunities. So for example, in Loughborough, in St. Andrews and other UK university, students can undertake something called spring internship. This is a new thing that has come up. And this is usually in the first year of the second term. So they apply for spring internship in the month of September and October. On the very month they arrive in the UK. And then that spring internship is usually for a couple of weeks. And you can do that with a firm, or you can do with some other places. And then there is another thing that's called a summer internship, which takes place in the summer of the second year. And then there's something else that is called 1 year placement, which is between second and the third year, which is more relevant to English universities, for example. And then the people that I know, Indian students who are studying at Warwick, studying at different courses, they tell me that if you are able to get into a spring internship, which is the first year spring internship, 2 weeks, your chances of securing a summer internship in the second year and getting a job placement at the end of the course are very, very high. But I would like to take a step back and just touch upon what Veer said is learning doesn't only take place through internships. At universities like Loughborough, St. Andrews, Warwick, and so many other great universities, you have plethora of societies. So for example, at Warwick, we have something called Warwick India Forum. And this is led by students. And what they do is part of this society, which is led by students. They will invite people like Shashi Tharoor, Dr. Subramaniam, Yusuf Malala, Kiran Bedi to Warwick and talk about India, industries, business, politics. So as a Warwick student, next thing you know, if you are part of that society, you're calling Emirates or Bank of England to sponsor the event, learn all those skills to develop a communication skill and put in your CV. So not just internships, but beyond internships as well. And Warwick takes employability very, very seriously, just like other universities here. So that is something that we really encourage students to think about. Think beyond that, but internship, of course, is a great opportunity.
Thank you very much, Amarjeet. I think all of us are aware of the kind of opportunities available to students on campus, both from a learning perspective as well as an experiential perspective. The most important thing, students, is for you to actually make the most of those opportunities. What typically happens is you sometimes just get stuck doing the course, but remember, there's many things beyond the course. I do feel that there was a question by one of the participants, and I know that I saw a raised hand. Anybody would like to come in and ask a question? Students and parents, please feel free to ask in case at any point of time you have a concern. Otherwise, we're just going to move on to the next part of it, and that in these, and I vowed I wouldn't use the word COVID, but I'm using it. In these COVID times, I think the biggest concern is employability. What are the opportunities? And we all are very delighted to know that the UK has actually opened up work opportunities for Indian students, and we have done many, many presentations on Brexit and COVID, and that's something which I think all of you would be concerned about. But it's important for us to know which country is allowing you to work, the duration for which they're allowing you to work. Can you apply for a PR? I know Canada is open for PR. So these are the kind of concerns that students and parents have. And along with the guests, I would appreciate if the audience would also maybe just ask questions in the chat box if that's what you'd like. Otherwise, you can just put up your hand and we'd welcome questions. But talking about UK universities and the kind of opportunity to work, any one of the 3 UK universities on this panel can just pitch in and say whatever they'd like to explain about the possibility of getting work. Anybody would like to come in? Yeah.
I'm happy to talk if none of the other
go ahead.
If the other two are too shy, then I'm happy to talk. But I'm very happy for Swapnil or my friend V to take on that question. I don't mind.
Just go ahead, and then maybe Veer will pitch in as well.
So as many of you would know, in the UK, the new policy is that you will have 2 years of stay back option in the UK if you have successfully completed a degree program in the UK. And if you ask me, this is generally a good news, but it is also somewhat bad news. But I see it more as a good news. And this is because when students have option to stay in the country after their course, they need to really be on their toes and ensure that 2 years of staying in the country is utilized effectively to boost their profile. What you don't want is staying in a country, and if you don't get a job, you might end up, say, working in McDonald's for 2 years. And then what will happen is when you come back to India after 2 years, it will be very hard for you to explain to your employer in India what have you been doing for 2 years after your course. So that's why it's not so good thing, but it's absolutely brilliant because it allows students, international students from India who are really serious about employability, the opportunity to stay in the UK for 2 years and really start looking for jobs from year 1 of the course. So that's where I'm at, but I'm very happy to be corrected by my lovely colleagues from Loughborough and St Andrews.
Swapnil, would you like to come in on that?
Yes, Kanika. So just to add what Amarjeet has said, if you're very serious about employability, the advisable thing which we tell to most of the students is as soon as you reach to the UK, look for kind of opportunities which are in and around you. Look for different sort of networking opportunities, some sort of, small internships, the way Amarji talked about the concept of spring internships. So that is now available with most of the UK universities. So all these things build up on your CV, and you get an opportunity to network with different kind of people, which in a way helps you in terms of looking for a job when you finish your degree.
Thank you very much. And I think we'd also like Canada to be able to tell us about. Anjali, is that okay with you? Would you like to come in and give us a perspective about what's happening in Canada?
Sure. So most of the universities, I'm going to combine the previous question with the present one. Most of the universities in Canada offer both co-op options as well as internship options. Specific to my university, we offer 4 different kinds of internships, and a student can start that internship the day they land in Canada itself. That's what the Canadian government allows them. At present, the Canadian government is allowing students to work for 20 hours per week while during their study semesters, and 40 hours per week during their off semesters. Each semester being for 4 months, students are studying for 8 months a year, and the rest of the 4 months are considered to be off semesters or work semesters or internship or co-op semesters. At our university, we offer internships from 4 months to 16 months, which are actually inbuilt in their 4-year program. So it's a great opportunity to take advantage of those internships, which will help build their profile to get jobs later. The Canadian government, especially in this present year, has been very flexible in welcoming international students. Just yesterday, the IRCC came out with the new announcement, wherein they said that even if students have completed 50% of their courses from their home country, they will their postgrad work permit will not get affected. And at present, Canada is one country which is giving the longest duration of postgrad work permit, which is full 3 years. And after they complete their education and their first year of full-time work experience in Canada, they can apply for permanent residency. So I think we are pretty open to not just welcoming international students, earning while they are studying, post-grad work permit of 3 years, but also welcoming them to become permanent resident and maybe Canadian citizens later.
Thank you very much, Anjali. That's really very exciting for students to hear that there are some parts of the world still welcoming Indian students to become permanent residents and citizens. After all the various types of problems we are facing, Indian students are facing in the US, Canada seems to be a very welcoming place, and thank you for your input regarding that. I'd also like to thank the UK universities for the perspective that they have given us on the 2-year extension of work visa as per the government of UK guidelines. And I think I see somebody else would like to come in. Anybody else who wants to add in here?
Yes.
Yeah, if we've got a second, do I have some time? Or?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So again, this is again just adding to what colleagues in the UK have said. I think the 2-year, just to give people an idea of what it was like before this post-study visa, was a company to take you on would need to sponsor you, and there was actually a list of sponsors, and most of those would be the bigger companies because it did have a cost component for them. So I think what this has done is maybe opened some opportunities for maybe startups and smaller companies who otherwise would be hesitant to sponsor in that capacity. I think this has given them that opportunity. But I would also add, I went in 2012 when it was the first year the UK removed the post-study. In 2014, I could have been in a different country when the Scottish referendum happened. And as it happened in 2016, I graduated on the morning of Brexit. So what I'm trying to say with that is, policies will change. There will be things that, you can plan for, but equally you'll have to adapt. I think it's important to know that, the UK has been there and been strong for a while and supported Indian students going there. So keep that in mind because, governments come and go, but, institutions like we have on the panel today have sustained themselves for many, many decades now.
Thank you so much, Veer. Interesting to know. Now, we've got approximately 10 minutes of our time on this session. I'm going to open this forum for questions because I'm sure students and parents who have joined us, as well as teachers and counselors from DPS International, are welcome to ask questions in the areas, as well as in other areas related to online teaching, hybrid teaching. I'm sure that's something a lot of universities have already addressed. But we are open to questions. You can send it in the chat box. You can just put up your hand, and happy to be able to invite anybody on this panel. Come on, students, you can't be so shy if you're going to go to university next year. Yeah, you need to start applying, you need to start thinking through.
Ms.Kanika, that the students are, I think everything is just sorted for them. You know, every time every time I think I've figured out all about UK universities, especially the way they are actually called. And then Q1 comes, and today Swapnil, I'm learning how to pronounce your university's name. And
Loughborough.
Loughborough.
Yes. So no, it was a very interesting session, and we learned a lot. And especially as a counselor too, I learned a lot about some myths associated with scholarships, especially. So that is great. I can see someone who wants to ask a question here. Let me just check. In the hand and down.
Nagma, I think that that was Swapnil's hand which was up, but that's okay. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank DPS International for setting up this very interactive forum. It's been not only something which will be informative, but also will encourage students to be able to be more participative in the future in being able to ascertain for themselves the kind of universities they want to go to, the kind of opportunities available on those universities, and how they can then plan their careers going forward. This is really something which will help students to be able to come on a one-on-one with university reps and meet so many. So that's really an exciting part of it. The three most important areas has been covered in this particular forum. And if you do have questions, drop a line to the counseling center at DPS for the DPS students, and you're welcome to write into any one of us who are on this panel. And I'm going to also in the chat box put in my email address so that you can have access to it and write into me at any point of time. Okay. So final possibility of any.
Thank you very much for DPS for organizing this. We're very, very delighted to be part of this. Thank you very much, Nagma, and thanks, Kanika, as well, for moderating.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kanika, and thanks, Nagma, for the time. Yeah.
Bye-bye. You take care, everybody, and stay safe.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Oh, wow.
We have a question.
Ma'am, it's not about scholarships. I just wanted to ask whether recordings will be available because I was in the other breakout session right now and I just joined.
Yeah, just go ahead, Beta.
I think she wants recording of it.
I was in the other breakout session, so I missed most of the session. Where will these recordings be available?
Yes, we'll connect regarding that later. Okay, so I think that apart from that, we don't have any questions. Thank you so much for taking the time out and coming to DPS International, doing this panel discussion. I know that this is not something which is the normal and natural, but somehow this is becoming more and more normal. We have done our first. It's not going to be the last, but we have taken our notes from today's sessions, and it will only get better. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you, Ms. Kanika, for moderating it.
Thank you very much, and you take care and stay safe, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.